What's going on, everybody? This your boy Town Biz. So I got some minutes to spare, and I thought I would take the time to talk about this. One of the things I want to discuss is something that has bothered me and is very troublesome to me, and it does trigger me a little bit because I want so much better for Black people, and I try to beg and plead with Black people, literally begging and pleading with Black people from my community to stop letting people that don't look like us exploit us and capitalize off us some of our talents for profit that they don't give back to our community, that they basically take back to their communities and better their communities. And at the end of the day, it goes upon deaf ears. Like, people don't hear me though, and people don't see what I see in these type of people. But at the end of the day, these people want to, co-sign for these people. They want to give these people so-called passes and all this kind of stuff that don't exist. So, recently I seen a situation that happened, on, or should I say outside of the studio where Adam 22 is, where I just saw some stuff go down. I don't want to dig deep into that, but that's just one of the many things I've seen and looked at as far as audio and video of this dude's platform. And he is no different from that other dude. They're pretty much the same. And at the end of the day, if you look at his background, this dude is from like New Hampshire or something. I wouldn't exactly say that's like what you would call, a high Black population. But what happens is Black people have this fascination with people that don't look like them, that provide a platform for them to basically, go on their podcast, their streams, their whatever, and basically exploit themselves, tell on themselves, and pretty much incriminate themselves, because that's what you see a lot. They don't do real interviews. They want these dudes to basically talk about stuff with the streets, because for some reason a lot of these dudes have an infatuation with so-called Black street culture, and they exploit these dudes. And I've said for the longest to stop talking to these dudes. But these dudes continue to go on these platforms and basically humiliate themselves and humiliate the Black community as a whole. And the funny thing is, you reach out to these same people, they don't want to talk to you. And if they do decide to talk to you, they ask for something that may not be feasible, something that may not be in your budget, or they just ignore you, period. And then when you do research and you be like, well, what did he require from you? You know what I'm saying? What did he require for you to be on his platform? Oh, I just went on there. Oh, okay. But that's what these dudes do. Like I said before, we have this this fixation with, once again, wanting to help everybody and elevate and better everybody except us. And that's why we're in the rabbit hole that we're in, where basically it's almost like a ditch, basically like a grave getting dug, and it's almost filled up to the top. I don't know why people continue to go on the dudes like Adam 22, um, the other dude, Vlad, and then have these people around us too that really make a mockery of us, that really don't think highly of us, but they will, capitalize off it for profit. And I keep saying this is why we shouldn't be having these conversations and talk about certain stuff and stuff that may be sacred to us. But that's the problem. And this is why you have a lot of these intruders, these outsiders that feel that they can come out of nowhere and just give their unwanted opinion on uh, basically the Black infrastructure. because we have a lot of clowns sitting up talking to these type of people. A lot of these dudes have no idea that they being exploited. And you keep telling them that, but they refuse to listen. And they get an attitude with you. And then when you keep saying, hey, man, this dude is not cool, they will go on the defensive for this person more than they will this other person. Just like black people have this fixation, they're memorized. They're captivated when some white dude comes to the so-called hood. Oh, he's a real one. What's real about him? If that's the case, I should be a real one because I live in that area. But I get it. If I walk through that area and you don't know who I am, I'm considered an op. Then you walk up trying to press me and trying to get information. But you don't do that to those dudes. Then you got these dudes sitting up here promoting self-hatred, always talking about they this, they that, you know, they a goon, they run this, they run that. And my thing is to these people that sit up there and say they extorting people. And let me ask you this: do you do that to any of the white artists? Do you do this shit to any of those white artists? And then this whole thing about checking in: do you make the white artists check in? Do you make the non-black artists check in? But oh, okay, you good for doing that to black people. And then when you get called out, then you talk about, oh, well, I don't want to talk about that black. Oh, well, you're going to talk about that black stuff with me, and you're going to hear this black stuff with me because you can't answer the question. Because you know what you're doing is some weak stuff. You know, I don't know what it is about black people feeling like they need to help blow up these people where they get nothing in return when these people continue to play into stereotypes and stigmas about us, treating us as we're like uncontrollable, tyrants or savages. But like I said before, we know who the real savages is, but black people keep playing into this. For some reason, they get off on stuff like this. Help me understand, what is the fixation with this stuff where you feel like you have to pour out your heart to these type of people that you know don't give a rat's ass about you, that only see you in a certain type of perspective and see black people as a whole in a certain perspective. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't go on white platforms. No, but don't go on white platforms that see us in one type of way, because then that's problematic, and that's not a good look. But people need to stop talking to dudes like Adam 22, Vlad, and all these people, and stop having these conversations and panels with dudes like Andrew Schultz that really be making a mockery out of us and really laughing at us behind our back and sometimes in front of us. They're really cornballs. But anyway, got to start my shift. We'll continue this talk later on. But for real, I just want to ask all you black people, why y'all continue to go on these platforms and help make these dudes richer off the backs of us? Help me understand that.